virtual avatar of themselves, they need to create it under a design style that's trademarkable. In other words, you got to make it look complex, similar to what you see in a Marvel movie. Like
Mm,
it would be hard to mirror just in an AI generated tool a Marvel character when these guys are using high levels of CGI and design. You can look at some of the variations of, let's say, the Transformers movies and some of the Autobots graphically to say that is a fake Optimus Prime. Because if you look at the details, there are things that are being missed. So when celebrities are going to create avatars themselves, they need to dial into some level of intricacy that aren't easy
mm,
to replicate, and the average AI engine it's just simply not going to do. You can't do something that's so basic and generic that it's easy to replicate. But look, that's work. But that's the work in anything. If you would look at the level of stitching in some of the European Italian design work, you can tell the handcrafted nature of the
mhm,
craftsmanship because the European model, as you know, is about scarcity and the American model is about overabundance. So it's much easier
mhm,
to knock off what is an overabundance because it's too much to run down versus what is operates on a scarce model. And this is why some of the Italian brands really can't be mimicked. In some of the American brands can easily be duplicated. So when
mhm,
people walk through New York City, they can tell some of the European brands, oh, that's way too fake. The logo's way too big. It's actually crooked. It doesn't have the stitching. And people who have this discerning eye know, and they can inform the other people who don't know that it's a fake. I mean, people are talking about the idea of knockoff Jordans now. When you start to look at patterns and prints of Jordan 1s, it's like that's not a pattern they would even sanction. So that
mm,
is not a real one. So again, but you talk to sneakerheads or influencers and collectors who know and have a discerning eye, and it's the same thing with people who know stars and celebrities so well who will say that's not their avatar. You see this, this, and this. That's her signature thing. That's not present. And then it's also to the benefit of someone like Beyonce who has the Beehive, where the Beehive is a constituency base can know that it's not
mhm,
real. So again,
mhm.
all these levels of protection have to be thought out, and do you have them in place before you just jump into the sandbox where somebody takes and hijacks your virtual avatar and has you doing all these things that you're not, and now you're chasing down litigation and doing damage control. Here's the thing that people need to understand. In an AI world, everyone needs to have a bit of crisis management in them. And it's just so funny. I have a bit of a background from my public affairs days because that is the world you're going to be in. You're going to be straddling the idea of putting things in market and having to go into crisis management mode almost at every turn. And I think a lot of brands, whether they are major institutions or people, are not poised to really defend that.